Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today with Evelio Matos, Adam Peak, and Corey Connors.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? It is Monday, May 29th, Memorial Day. Holy cow. It's been a while since I've been here, so it's great to be back. We got
welcome back.
Evelio Matos, Packaging Unboxed podcast, and Corey Connors at the Corrugated on the TikToks, and of course, Sustainable Packaging podcast with Corey Connors, and Adam Peak, Packaging Pastor on the on the TikToks. And People of Packaging podcast, man, the OG packaging podcast guy.
Also,
first one.
Yeah, it was still happening.
Yeah, it is.
Barely holding on, but I'm just kidding. It's still in the top 5 in El Salvador, actually. So.
Nice. I'm top 5 Uganda. So thanks, Uganda. What's up? Uganda in the house.
Kampala.
I like it. I love that. Welcome back, Evelio.
Thanks,
Good
man.
to see you again, sir.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So just quick recap. I was able to go to Packaging Premiere in Milan. Actually, I was in LuxPack, New York, speaking on AI, and then headed over to Packaging Premiere Milan to speak on artificial intelligence and how to use it for packaging design, which is pretty awesome. Had a great turnout at both events. Crazy how many people are looking to learn about artificial intelligence and how many people are a little scared about it. So yeah, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. What's up, Lubani? Lubani, of course, is out there making bricks from plastic waste and turning it into construction material in Malawi, I believe. And so pretty cool stuff. For us, it was awesome because we were able to support their team and provide protective gear for them. So they were doing this just in shorts and flip-flops and no masks or any kind of protective gear. So we were able to provide that. So that was pretty awesome. So Milan was awesome. And then after Milan, I went over to Romania to work with the IDP Direct team. Those guys built a new factory out there. So I was just kind of checking that out, which was pretty cool. Romania is not what I don't know what you picture when you're going to Romania, but it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. Everybody smokes though, but it was, it was pretty cool. It was a good time.
I have some friends who moved to Romania, and they're musicians, and they travel all around Romania and sing music. And my buddy married a Romanian girl, and it's pretty awesome. I'm excited to go over there at some point in my life and go see what they're doing. Of course,
beautiful.
If the Denver Nuggets, which is a basketball team, do win the NBA championship, I need to try to make my way over to Sombor, Serbia, which is where Nikola Jokic is from, just to
obviously
pay my respects.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You just said a bunch of words that probably mean something to somebody.
Oh, that guy.
This guy.
Yeah. Nikola.
Is he in a Marvel movie?
You know what? We're not going to do this today, Evelio. You're not stealing. You're not stealing my excitement.
I'm excited for you.
I'm not stealing your Nuggets thunder.
Nope.
All right, dude. All right. 6-piece, 9-piece.
Not doing it.
Whatever kind of nuggets.
Not doing it. I'm not here for any of it.
So we got some people with us. We got Andrew Fraser. We got Brandon Jones, Lumbani.
Good morning.
Shruthi. I'm sure if you're tuning into this on Memorial Day holiday, just drop us a note where you're listening from. It's always great to see where everybody's coming from. Just a quick reminder here on who these people are that you're looking at. Adam, you're gonna have to scoot over. Other way. So these are the people you're talking to, right? So if you're looking for any of us on the podcast channels on YouTube, this is what you're looking for, right? You got Packaging Unboxed with me, Sustainable Packaging with Corey. Corey's always peeking up over, with his glasses on. And the People of Packaging with Adam Peak. Always great to hear from everybody. So check us out.
Thank you, Avelio, for designing that logo. I get a lot of compliments on it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's
And
always
mine.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
always fun to
I
work
get
together.
so many compliments on Corey's logo.
I do too.
Yeah.
They're like, why isn't yours as cool as
I know.
Corey's? Oh,
Like I got the patch. I'm like, I have a QR code you can scan. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
as cool as Corey. Sorry.
it's like super high tech. All right. What are we talking about? We're covering a few things today.
I wanted to just because we talked about. I saw Andrew's comment. You know, it's Memorial Day, and I thought this was kind of a cool tie back into packaging. So a friend of mine had posted this story about this, like the very first Decoration Day or Memorial Day. And
Yeah.
so I was just doing some research into it because it involved it's like a curator at a Harvard library. I think a curator, yeah. And they were sorting through some materials, and they found, and they said printed on cardboard.
Yeah.
But we're going to go with corrugate.
Yeah.
It could have been, we don't know. It could have been some SBS board. They just didn't get very specific.
Yeah.
But on this, it detailed this story where there was a racetrack that had been used during the Civil War as a prison for Union soldiers. And these newly freed slaves in Charleston found 260, soldiers who had died from disease and just poor treatment in this prison. And they, along with some of the black ministers in the town and some of the white missionaries, decided to have what was called the first Decoration Day. And so they gave them a proper burial and treated them with respect. And I thought that was kind of a cool story, tying in, not only like some, just Black history and American history, but also a little bit of packaging. So there you go. I can
Amazing.
link on this. It's on history.com. It wasn't like, http:// username 87652.7.reddit.substack.medium.com.
No, just keeping it simple. Good stuff, man. So, all right. So just real quick, I wanted to touch base on just this paperization of packaging. Like, what are your feelings? I guess, Corey, do you want to give us like a quick rundown on what paperization means today?
Yeah, the global trend is this shift away from plastic to paper packaging of all kinds. I mean, it started with the infamous plastic straw and went to the even more infamous paper straw, which
doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And I think this is exactly what we're talking about, is it doesn't always make sense to go to paper. There are many other materials that are better for things like a straw. And I don't know how straws got roped into packaging, but I think because they don't package anything at all. But they
temporarily
Pixie sticks.
They package
Pixie
fluid.
sticks. Yeah.
Pixie sticks
No.
are the OG paper straws.
No, but think about like the fluid is packaged in the straw for a short
brief
period
second.
of time.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
packaged. I mean, I'm just
Well, I guess then we get funnels too. We'll take them both.
We'll take them all.
throwing it all in there.
Yes, I will. We're all
Catheters, all of its packaging.
I can't wait to see the paper catheter coming out.
Oh, that's not happening.
Cathetherpackaging.com.
That's
I
right.
can't do that.
That's right. Paper catheters, new coming to a urologist near you.
So, believe it or not, this is something I get asked a lot, and not about catheters ever. That's the first. But people want to know why, and I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. It's the CEO steps in and says, "No more plastic. We can't use it anymore. We're going to paper." And what we understand to be, it's not working always. Sometimes it's a slam dunk. Moving from plastic bubble to Denver Nuggets. They are a paper-based basketball team. I think.
You know what's funny? You know who sponsors the arena where the Nuggets play? Ball Corporation.
Boom.
Nice.
Pulling it back into packaging.
Aluminum.
Or they make balls.
No.
But yeah, we were talking about plastic bubble and going to Scotch cushion lock, which is a direct paper replacement, it works. Things like that are a direct replacement that are effective and even more efficient, even costs less money, even do a better job many times. I just did a drop test yesterday from 12 feet with Scotch cushion lock for my TikTok, and it worked. I just can't believe it. It's incredible how sustainable packaging can do the job. A lot of people are very hesitant to move to more sustainable packaging. Oh, we got to have this plastic, or we got to have this foam. Well, why don't you try some new things and you'll be amazed. But make sure you run an LCA, a life cycle analysis. Make sure you're looking at the whole scope of the business and do the right thing for the planet.
Would you? I saw an article, and I got to look this up because I've referenced it now a couple times. There was an article about perception of, paper versus plastic and packaging.
Yeah.
And there was a perception that maybe the packaging school did a study on this. I don't know. Shout out packaging school. But if like a bottle of shampoo, for example, was in a folding carton, then that product was perceived as more sustainable than the same bottle of shampoo without a folding carton, which is of course nonsense. I mean,
Right.
it's not more sustainable because it's just more material. But that was the perception by a consumer, was if their first interaction with it is paper, then oh, okay. Especially if it's like a brown paper, it's like, oh, that's definitely more sustainable. And so there is a perception to, I think, the paper, what do we call it? Paperifying? Paperization of packaging. But I'll give you another example. I posted kind of a tongue-in-cheek TikTok video about the Marco's. Now we're back to Marco's, but that even that, like, you can't use paper-based packaging in a food environment and wrap it with paper because of contamination, FDA stuff. It's like, you need plastic for that. There is no other alternative other than maybe a really expensive, bio-based plastic. But if you want to keep getting your delicious Marco's pizza available nationwide, franchise opportunities available. If you want,
like the worst pizza.
Sponsored by Adam Peak.
Sponsored by the People of Packaging podcast. But I mean, it's just the point of there is a need for this, for plastic. You can't always just get rid of plastic and make paper-based alternatives.
But we've also seen like those paper bottles, right? I know there's been quite a big stir in terms of like paper bottles that are coming out. Then there's like the paper bottles that are basically just wrapped around a plastic bottle. All right.
You just have one available. Corey's like,
this is how dedicated I am to this conversation.
That's right.
I don't even have my jazz flute. You know what I
mean? But that's like, right. So it's like, we've got a lot in terms of packaging. We've got a lot of people moving to paper from plastic, but ultimately they're reducing the volume and the strength of plastic, right? They're making it more monomaterial in some cases. They're making it monomaterial in some cases, but with a paper wrap. Consumers don't necessarily always take that stuff apart. So then, are you really helping? I'm not one way or another, but I'm definitely one person that's like, I always question, like, is this really better? And then how much, if we change everything, if we were able to change completely away from plastic and go directly to paper, like what's going to happen to the planet? Like, we can only sustain so much in terms of, recycled material. We've got to go to virgin fiber. Now we're cutting down even more trees in order to accommodate just, paper catheters. Like, how far do we take it? Like, where does it become like this balance?
Paper catheters. Yeah, that's the title of this episode. Paper
catheters
episode.
And you.
and you. And you.
Can we also, if we're talking about like paper versus like, single-use plastics, there was the report by, was it ABC News? I think you sent it out to us, Avelio, about
I probably did.
The store recycle ready monomaterial flexible packet, or flexible bags and flexible packaging, not making it to
thank you,
not making it to where it's supposed to be. And that basically that might even be a ruse, a bit of a ruse, I guess. put on by, I love how like people will be like, this is all put on by, it's either big oil
Big-
or big pharma, or like there's always some big conspiracy. And I'm like, I've met people who work at these companies. They're nice people.
Yeah.
They're not like smarter than us.
No, not at all.
They're not smart enough to pull
There's
off these
nothing.
capers.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no caper happening in the background. There's no paper
Yeah.
caper.
Yeah.
But
Sponsored
it's
by
really sad.
big oil and
That's
big
right.
pharma.
Ding, a little sparkle. But all right. So that leads me to the next question that I had, which was, all right. So we talked about paperization. Then, we talked about combining paper and plastic, but the next thing that I always hear people come, when they're like, this is what they come at me, bro. This is what they come
Yeah.
at me, bro, with is
Right.
they're like, well, what about bio-based plastics? What about, some of these this plastic that's cellulose based that is biodegradable, right? Because it's cellulose based means it's biodegradable is like what a lot of people think. And these are, people at large brands. And a lot of times it's just designers that are either designers or procurement that are reading and Googling and just picking up little bits and pieces here, but they're not getting the big picture. They're just kind of pulling together what makes sense to them from what big oil is pushing. But like, it comes down to like cellulose. So my question is, WTF cellulose? So what is it? Adam, break it down for us.
Break it down.
Wow. Okay. So this is not my.
It's none of ours, but I thought it'd be good to start
we're,
with you.
we're not speaking from a position of strength. We're not sponsored by Big Cellulose. But
Yeah.
essentially,
We're working on
cellulose is a product that comes from nature. So you can get it from, like, paper is a cellulose based product. There's
Yep.
cellulose acetate. There's other forms. I'm sure that even like your like buttons on shirts are made out of like a cellulose acrylic.
Mhm.
And so the idea is that cellulose can be broken down, which is true, right? But it
Yeah.
has to be in certain environments. Not all cellulose is the same, like, purity of cellulose. Someone's going to jump in the comments and be like, "This guy's crazy." You're right. I'm
You're
literally on
nuts.
I'm on ChatGPT right now, just reading it. No,
but-
but I mean, the idea is that these
Yeah.
like bio-based things rather than petroleum, it's really like,
Mhm.
is it petroleum versus cellulose?
Yeah.
And which is better for the environment? And I think going back to the first thing is, it depends
Right.
on how effective it is at helping the product and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. So yeah, making a move over to a bio-based or a cellulose-based product
Yeah.
is not always the
The most
best.
sustainable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey, what's
Yeah.
cellulose?
I think I would go back a little bit and say biodegradable products or compostable products.
Yeah.
The bio-based materials are an improvement because they don't require fossil fuels.
Mhm.
And now that's great. Now, step 2,
Right.
life cycle analysis. What happens to them when we're done with them? Are they really going to get composted? Does the consumer understand what that little green leaf means on that packaging material?
Yeah.
No. Most people think it means recyclable. And it's very, very confusing. And until we get to a point where compostable products are easily composted industrially around the nation and around the world, it's going to cause massive confusion. And this is where we're at, and it's frustrating. Now, the caveat to that is something I just talked to our friend Paul from Europe about. He said in an interview with him that bio-based materials are going to be recyclable in the long run. And I think that would be incredible to be able to recycle those along with or separate from other petroleum-based plastics would be an incredible step forward. There would be a huge leap. and there's a student from where was she from? Oxford or something. I don't even remember. And
Colorado
she,
State.
yeah, Colorado State. She plays for the Nuggets.
She plays for the Nuggets. She eats nuggets.
But she was able to put a bioluminescent product in the material that the sorting machines would identify and be able to remove and or separate. And the thought of that is incredible to me, and I'm excited to see that potential future.
Yeah. So all right. So I did some Googling.
Yeah.
Designers and buyers do, just to kind of get like a top level idea here. So from just in terms of like cellulose, it is plant matter. It's in cotton, it's in pretty much all plants. You can pull it from bark.
Algae.
Yep. And yeah, you can turn it into paper. Then through different processing methods, it can turn into plastic, but you can also then turn it into a powder, which you can use as like, when you get your cheese and there's like that dust all over it, like that white dust that keeps them separate, it helps reduce the moisture. Like that's what that is. Then they also use it as a filler for your medicine, for your pills. So the majority of your medicine is actually this cellulose powder, because humans can't digest it. It basically becomes filler for your poop, which is nuts. Like, get really close.
I'm out of here, guys.
But like that was pretty crazy. The number of food products that actually contain this as a filler. It's a non-digestible element, but it does potentially aid with digestion. It becomes poo, which is crazy. So could we turn poo to paper? That's next week. But this week, not only that, but then there's also like there are insects and bugs that can actually digest cellulose. So termites can, and some of the chemistry in their gut that actually breaks down the cellulose is what people are looking at to then break down some of this packaging. You've seen those articles on finding a new microorganism out there that can actually digest plastic. Like that's where the stuff is coming from. So pretty interesting things out there in terms of it, being more sustainable. Corey, 100%. It's like if you're able to move away from fossil fuels to something new that is regenerative, essentially, then that's a good step. The fact that it reduces your greenhouse gases, that's awesome. But biodegradability, that's the challenge, right? It's like not all of the stuff is created equal. It's not all the same. Well, just because it's bio-based doesn't mean it can be biodegradable.
There's a whole other layer to, kind of biofuels and cellulose-based packaging, which is like soil health. And so if you, for example, if we're deriving so much of this from corn, and there's like soil, scientists out there who are like, no, we are subsidizing like corn manufacturing at such a high rate that like farmers can't really rotate their crops, and so our soil health in the US has eroded dramatically. So it's like there are consequences per the conversation about if we move to all paper. It's not as simple as just, well, let's just grow a whole bunch of corn, because yes, we can keep growing corn, but is that actually a good long-term solution for what it is that we're trying to do? I mean, I had my friend Steven Steele, who's no longer, I don't think, working on this project on my podcast, but him and two of his buddies had derived a way to make cellulose out of CO2 in the air, using it like a solar powered bioreactor. So the idea that there's carbon capture cellulose, to me, is actually maybe the more fascinating way of going about this, is saying, how can we use what we already have in overabundance, which is CO2 in the atmosphere? How can we use that to create bio-based products? Maybe not just, degrading our soil life and using up things that should be used to create food or to feed people in order to make, jet fuel. It's like
there's the rub, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, we're not experts in this, but neither are the people within the brands. And this is kind of the conversation that they're having, right? It's just like top level. This is kind of what I've heard. This is how I picture it. This is what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And is why it's important to reach out to experts in the different fields that maybe impact your brand and your packaging.
Yeah.
I know if you reach out to any one of us three and we want to get into a deeper conversation about this, we're going to have people that we're going to rely on. It looks like Adam's falling asleep over there.
No,
Yeah.
I just my eyes. In my eyeball. Sorry, not falling asleep.
No, but like that's really the process, right? It's like if you have questions within this, if you're in a brand and you're looking to buy packaging, and you're thinking of moving away from plastic into paper, it's best not to just Google stuff and try to make a decision on your own. Like really reach out to an expert in packaging. They may not be the right person to answer your question, but as an expert, you do have a broader network that can help direct you in the proper direction. And in the same, any three of us, if you reach out to us, we may not be the right person to provide you that solution, but we're going to be the right people to direct you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And
Along with
that's the
that-
challenge.
Along with that, though, this is something that I see all too often is if you reach out to somebody who has a reason to sell you the thing, whatever that is,
They're going to sell you that thing.
they're going to tell you the best things about that product. And that's
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do that, right?
Mhm.
Like if you want to know about PLA based films, you should talk to somebody from Foodamura, right? They're going to have a lot of really good advice, things that, but also bounce that off against maybe somebody else who doesn't work there, right? Like,
Right.
because and even when you're online, if you're not talking to an actual person, check the source,
Mhm.
see what the article, see who's writing
Yeah.
the article, what's it written about.
Right.
The three of us really try hard to be unbiased, but we all work for companies.
Yeah.
We're going to have a bias. Like we try really hard to not be biased, but we're just going to have some kind of bias. And I will try to help you or, talk to somebody who is biased the other direction from me.
Yeah.
It's usually going to be Avelio because he and I don't agree on anything.
We definitely don't. But that's not to say I haven't said, hey, you know what? I'm not the right person to talk to in this field because I don't know, adhesives or plastics. So you know
Yeah.
what? Reach out to Adam and I'll, pass somebody through to Adam or to Corey.
Yeah.
It's like, again, I'm not going to help you if I'm just selling you what I sell. Right. At the end of the day,
Right.
I want to make sure that everybody's getting the right thing.
Well said.
So yeah,
Do you
definitely
know-
reach out to us.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the show last time, but Brandy Parker and at the Sustainable Packaging Coalition, they just announced a partnership. So she's going to lead their design council or organization. So people like Avelio should join that, and designers all working together to make sustainable packaging and to figure it out, to work
Yeah.
with the experts from the manufacturers of this material and things like that. But it's an exciting time in packaging, and like Muna said, it's very confusing.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. It's getting confusing, and right. That's the goal. It's just a total selling solution. Have you guys heard of Metsä board? It sounds familiar to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it's from somewhere over in Europe.
Heard of matzo balls?
Norway or Finland or something like that. I've heard good things about it. It's just,
Yeah.
again, it's like, is it maybe its creation more sustainable? Probably. There's probably some really cool story.
Yeah.
Is milling the paper in, let's just say it comes from, recycled board stock over in, Northern Europe, and then milling it and then putting it in big sheets and then freighting it across here to be converted. I don't know. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I think they're doing some cool stuff. Them and there's another company that's taking like Tetra Pak style board and turning that into usable packaging paper for like folding cartons. So
That's great.
Yeah, there's a lot. I know I use Esca board out of Europe, and that's like premium board that's going to get wrapped up by paper, right? That you're never going to see. And in that, it's like you've got reduced moisture in there. It's got like really controlled fiber direct, like everything is drilled down, like in terms of detail. There's a lot of PCW in there, but you're going to pay for it. Right. And then if you're shipping it, if you're shipping it globally to be converted somewhere else, then it's even more. And then your carbon footprint starts expanding beyond what you might know. So definitely there's just a lot. Again, there's a lot of conversation that has to happen around before a decision's made. It's always important to do that. So as we kind of wrap up here, like what do you got coming up this week, Corey?
Yeah, exciting news. Adam and I will be in Seattle for Circularity 23 next week, and on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we'll all be live from. I'll be live from Seattle. Adam will be on an airplane, but I think it's an exciting opportunity to meet with some of the people from Amazon and to experience the Green Biz event, Circularity 23. So if you're going, reach out to us. If you're not going, try next year. It's I've heard it's an amazing event.
Or if you're in Seattle, there's a couple people that I'm going to be meeting with who can't attend Circularity, but they're in Seattle, and so I'm going to meet up with them, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then what do you got coming up, Adam?
Game 1 of the NBA Finals is this Thursday, featuring the Denver Nuggets versus who knows, because Game 7 is tonight. So I've got that happening. And
that's basketball, right?
That's basketball. Yep.
See, I know what's up.
We have I can't believe you're in Phoenix and you don't at least follow the Phoenix Suns, who are sponsored.
Dude, I see the sun all day long. It's so hot here.
I know, but the arena is Footprint. It's Footprint Arena. So Molded Fiber Company Footprint is like a prime sponsor for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, 100%. Footprint's awesome. Troy and that team did something amazing.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
I've had that. We have a new human being moving into our home on Friday from London. So I'm preparing for that. Are you talking about podcast and work?
What do you got? Yeah, what do you got going? What are you promoting?
I'm supposed to promote things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This person from London. I'm not sure how that's going to help us out.
Solomon King is his name.
Does he like boxes?
Yeah. Top of the morning. Sure. Oh no, that's Ireland.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have a podcast episode out this week, just like it comes out every week. Also, would love to. I know our friend Lambani is trying. He's been invited to all of these events around the world, and it'd be cool if there's a way for our community to help him out in terms of like costs to get tickets. So I don't know if we can set up we haven't even talked about this behind the scenes, but it'd be cool to set up like either a GoFundMe or something like that to make sure that we can help him
like that
get to the places where he's going to get to. So maybe the three of us could talk about that offline and try to get something out.
Yeah, 100%. We want Lambani to be able to continue building his business and spreading the word of how of how to eliminate plastic waste in nature and turn it into actually something useful.
Yep.
So good stuff, man. Just real quick, wanted to touch on this one here before we leave. Valerie Langer saying biodegradable doesn't mean it's lower carbon. Some papers have higher footprint than plastic. Yeah, 100%. That's why, again, we push for making sure that you get an LCA.
Well said, Valerie.
We're not, it's not a paper versus plastic. It's just making the right decision with the right information, and not just Googling, seeing what the latest news is and kind of making a decision based on that. Because, as Adam said, you don't know who's writing it. You don't know what position they're taking. It really makes a difference for every single business, what choices you make. So talk to somebody that is able to provide service for you.
Probably ChatGPT.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. For me this week, I've got a bunch of episodes I'm dropping for Packaging Premier. I was able to record a ton of episodes there with Fed Rigoni, Mike Cordonon, James Cropper, and well, like Charlotte asks, I'll definitely put a link in there, and we'll put links for all three of ours in the newsfeed, and we'll catch you guys next week. I'm sure there's some good stuff happening. All right,
thanks everybody.
Thanks guys. Appreciate you guys joining and leaving comments. Keep commenting. We'll keep watching. See ya.
Live from Studio 3, this is Packaging Today. with Evelio Matos.